Intimate confines of Studio K with Harold Reynolds, Matt Vasgersian, Lauren Shahadi with us, Keith Costas with us, Mark Feinsand is in with us today. And a couple of our favorite things we've stumbled on this offseason will be executed today. These were both your ideas. Going back to school, interviewing college coaches. I like that. So we're going to interview Georgia coach Scott Strickland, who's going to join us a little bit later on. Cool. And talking to minor league managers and coaches. Homer Bush, who, you know, we remember from his playing career vividly, is now managing in the minors. We're going to talk to Homer. Former Pirate Jack Wilson's going to join us, along with his son Jacob, who's a top prospect. Wow. Doesn't that seem weird to you?
It is weird. But Jacob can play, man. He's a big dude.
And it felt like Jack was just playing yesterday. And now we're talking about his son is on the verge of major league stardom, too. So
I asked Jack, I talked to him a couple weeks ago, who had better hands. Because nobody had hands like Jack Wilson. He could pick it, man. Yeah. He's like,
what'd he say?
He said he did.
Yeah.
He did.
Yeah.
You know, we were talking, Lauren's going to love this. Matt and I were talking, Lauren, about how, you know, this week, it's like, seems it hasn't been that fast. And I thought about it. This is the first time we worked 5 days in a row. I mean, this is like heavy lifting this
And you know what's really weird about that is it's only been 4 days.
Thank you. Yes. See?
Since we were off on Monday.
That's how long this week has been.
I hear you. Hey, we also would be remiss if we didn't note, and we're going to talk a little bit more about his career later on, but the passing of Nate Colbert that we learned of yesterday. Yeah. The Padres' all-time home run leader, a guy who played 10 years in the big leagues, played with 5 teams, but had his greatest years in San Diego. And what's really most amazing about the fact that he is still the franchise home run leader is the fact that when Nate Colbert played in San Diego, Jack Murphy Stadium, which was then referred to just as San Diego Stadium, was a cavernous, enormous place.
Oh, my God.
And over only a 5-year period in the early 70s, his home run total has stood until now as the all-time in franchise history.
Crazy power. I used to call him Mr. Mustard because of those uniforms. When I was in high school, I got a chance to go there because my brother Don was playing with those days. It was before Tony Gwynn's great one with the Padres. And I remember that ballpark was they had to hit it over the top of everything. Maybe that's my final strike to show you how big that park was.
It was big.
But he was special. What kind of talent, what a power.
So Nate Colbert passing, we learned of that yesterday, and we'll kind of peel back some layers on his career and his impact a little bit later on in the program. For now, let's say good morning to Mark Feinsand, leading the league in information today. Good to have Mark with us when we do, as we do today. And Mark has written on MLB.com of some teams that have been sneaky good in the offseason. Your list of under-the-radar winners, I suppose, is that a fair way to put it, Mark, this winter?
Yeah, I think when you look at the offseason, it's easy to point to the teams like the Phillies signing Trey Turner or the Yankees bringing back Judge and signing Rodon and saying, well, those guys won the offseason. But there are teams out there that didn't go to the top of the market and still found a way to really improve themselves going into 2023. So I'm going to give you my top 4, and we'll start with number 4, which is the Los Angeles Angels.
That's a hot take.
Obviously, they've already got a good core in place. When you have Mike Trout and Shohei Ohtani, you're in a pretty good start. But when you think about they jumped the market on Tyler Anderson, and people were wondering about that right away. 3 years, $33 million. That's only $1 million and an extra year than what Kenley Jansen got. And when you look at what the pitching market looked like over the rest of the offseason, that looked like a really good deal. Love the trade for Hunter Renfroe. Brandon Drury, very good, versatile player. Carlos Estevez going to come in to be the new closer. And Gio Urshela, obviously a good utility guy. And given Anthony Rendon's injury history over the past couple of years, good to have a guy like Urshela there. So I liked what the Angels have done. They've got the superstars. They needed to build around them, and I thought they did a very good job with that. Number 3, I went with the Arizona Diamondbacks. The trade that they made, the Dalton Varsho trade, was, I thought, a fantastic deal for them. You think about they had all those left-handed hitting outfielders. They get rid of Varsho. They bring in Gabriel Moreno, who is, arguably a top 10 prospect in the league. I have yet to talk to anybody who doesn't think this guy's going to be a huge star. Kyle Lewis, a little bit of a rebound hope there. Rookie of the year a couple years ago. Sort of a low buy there, but with some real good potential. Longoria bringing a good veteran. I like Zach Davies as some rotation depth there for them. And I think when you look at the young team that they have Longoria could be a good kind of veteran presence.
You know what I like about that, too, is they didn't wave the red flag. I mean, we all know San Diego and the Dodgers are continually building out there. And they didn't say, oh, well. No, they're still making a challenge at these guys, and that's why they shook the roster up. I love that.
Well, yeah. What would the red flag indicate?
White flag.
Got it.
Yeah.
Caution on the track. That's a yellow flag.
Storm front coming.
I agree with you. They're still the Diamondbacks are building to compete.
Yes.
They're not just saying, "Hey, man, we got the Dodgers, Giants, and Padres in this division. We're happy as a 500 team." And the column on your left that Mark just put up was so much better than the column on the right. No offense.
We got that full screen built.
We got that full screen built again. Can we see the column on the left versus the column on the right for the Diamondbacks? I mean, it's, again, not to speak ill of anybody on the other side, but the additions.
Just did, but that's okay.
No, I just like the group on the additions side. It's hard not to. You bring in Longoria.
It was tough giving up Varsho, but they got something back for him.
Sure, Lourdes. He's going to be good down there. And Kyle Lewis can rebound and have a big year. So anyway, not to interrupt, Mark, let's roll with your list. Number 2.
Number 2, I went with the Seattle Mariners. Obviously, they took a big step in the last couple years towards being a contender. I love the Teoscar Hernandez trade. That brought another big impact bat into their lineup. I don't think people nationally understand how good Teoscar Hernandez is. Since the beginning of 2020, he's played 324 games. That's 2 full 162-game season equivalent. 73 home runs, 227 RBIs, 24 steals, and an 852 OPS to go along with a cannon of an arm. I think he's going to make a big impact there. Obviously, you just look at Julio Rodriguez right there at the top of the lineup. He's only going to get better. Colton Wong comes in to help out in the infield. They needed a little second base help. So I like what they did in trying to bolster that roster that has really taken some big steps forward in the last couple of years.
Is Cal Raleigh really going to back clean up for them? I mean, those are our projections. Is that where we there's I
don't know. Put that back up.
There's a strikeout in there. I mean, Cal Raleigh's a great player, switch hitter.
He
came up huge for them down the stretch, but fourth, that's a great.
Teoscar feels like more of a number 4 hitter to me, but
agreed.
Yeah.
Costi, were you at was this your creation?
The team effort is everything is here at the network.
Got it.
I don't appreciate you putting the blame at my feet.
Got it. No, it's all good. I got you. Okay, Mark.
Now there's only one more.
There's somebody back there. He just blasted on national TV with the lineup, but that's okay. Mark, that wasn't your fault. Let's go to your number 1.
There is only one more, as the dog said, and it is the Toronto Blue Jays. Again, you're talking about a team that's been very good the last couple of years, is in a division with some monster teams, with the Yankees, with the Rays. The Orioles have come on. The Red Sox, had a rough offseason before the Devers re-signed, but certainly are always a threat long term. And you look at what they did. They added Chris Bassett, tremendous asset to their rotation. They traded Gabriel Moreno, but they brought in Dalton Varsho. They needed that left-handed bat in their lineup. Kiermaier will make their outfield defense a lot better. And I think the sneaky addition here is Eric Swanson, who they traded in the Teoscar Hernandez deal. Eric Swanson last year was superb, 1.68 ERA in the bullpen. Really helps lengthen and deepen that area of their roster. So I think when you look at this lineup, it's loaded. Adding Varsho will help balance them out a little bit. Kiermaier will balance them out a little bit at the bottom. And I thought the Bassett acquisition was absolutely huge for them.
I really, truly believe that.
D-Rose in on that. You know what? I like what you're saying about the Blue Jays for sure. I agree with everything you just said. But for me, personally, every year I drink the Toronto Kool-Aid. Every year they make these wholesale roster changes. They add big names. And I think this is going to be a great year in Toronto. And it's a division series exit. It's good, but not good enough. So I'm not doing it this year. I'm not doing it. No, I'm not doing it. I'm not picking Toronto to win the AL East. I am not.
I can't wait till like April 1st when we see your predictions that the Blue Jays are the AL East champion.
Mark, thank you. Mark Feinsand with us today on a Friday, and we'll get back to Mark a little bit later on. Which of those teams for you is the most intriguing that he just spit through?
Well, I mean, I'd be biased and say Seattle, but I think they made moves according to even the new rule. I look at Colton Wong. You had to have a second baseman that's going to range. I love that move. The one that stood out, though, when you first said that initially to me was Toronto. You give up a Teoscar Hernandez and you get better?
Yeah.
That's the depth of that team. That's a club that's dangerous.
Yeah, they made a lot of really great moves. For me, it's the Angels. Again, not to sound biased here, but I just think they did a great job with the uncertainty of the ownership issue lingering over the team.
Yeah.
Perry Manassian went out and made them a lot better. They have the depth that they did not have last year. Right?
Where's Anthony Rendon?
He's healthy.
He's healthy.
He's going to play. Yes.
He comes back
what a
and
difference.
plays. You got Brandon Drury's going to get some ABs.
Yep.
That lineup is going to be good.
They're going to be a lot better. We have our full depth on this Friday because Lauren's here, Keith is here, Mark is here. Good morning.
I'm excited for
what
today.
You don't drink coffee and you're a little wired today.
I got nervous energy. If you're not nervous,
I saw Lauren getting her walking in early today too.
You're
ready to go.
You know what I mean? You're dead inside.
When the jazz hands are going like this for her, I'm like, oh, here we go.
Here we go. A couple of cupcakes in. So lock it in, gentlemen. Congratulations are in order to Garrett and Amy Cole. They welcome their second son, Everett, and his big brother.
That's how you do it.
Pretty proud. Look at this.
Happy birthday, baby brother. Happy birthday, baby brother. Happy birthday, baby brother.
Big brother Caden being a little
Man, you kissed him 4 times. That's awesome.
Angel. I just keep imagining.
Got 10 kids?
No, there's 2 kids. I keep imagining when they play Little League, and Garrett Cole walks up to the fence, and all the parents are, coaching. Garrett's like, what the?
Or Uncle
Relax.
Brandon Crawford.
That's right. The whole family.
Pretty
Imagine.
good stuff.
Once the calendar turns to January, Twitter, Instagram starts heating up. What are you doing? What are you ready
I'm looking for the Herald. I hate this time of year.
I knew he said just
Go ahead.
Look, the physician, he's like one hand on the laptop.
This is so badly organized now. I used to have it all color-coded now.
Oh, my gosh.
I did.
It's so annoying. That's so you. Calendar turns to January, you're working out, right? Everyone's getting ready for the season. And it's not just skull crushers. Jose Trevino, everyone's workouts are interesting these days. They are on the internet. They're also working out. And this was a scene at Lone Depot Park. A bunch of guys, you love to see it, working out together, pushing each other.
Come on, man. If you plan on fields like that with bad hops, it's time to retire.
Put that
too
on
afraid
the
to get hit,
soundboard
don't play.
right now. Duble Herrera lifting weights. What's your workout of choice, H? Because you look like you could still play. What do? You run.
Push-ups,
sprint.
sit-ups. That's the key.
Push-ups, sit-ups?
Yeah.
That's it?
That's it.
No weights?
I love barbecue chips. No weights.
A-Rod's a workout fanatic. We know
What's
that.
he got
Yeah, he does. He works out pretty hard.
Pretty hard. I mean, this is his workout.
Oh, come on. This is false hustle, Alex. I would call you out on
You
this.
can tell he's never shoveled.
He's like, hand me that shovel and shoot about 20 seconds of this.
Get your legs into it.
Right?
His
It's all
back
for the
is
gram.
killing him today.
As soon as that recorder was turned off, he threw that shovel in the snow.
That's
and
like
walked into the
everyone.
house.
Walk down New York City streets. Everyone's posting for Instagram. Someone's like some fashion model in front of a random store, but the model's not. Forget it.
Yeah. Oh, my
Maddie
gosh.
keeps in shape
He's laughing right now.
like only he knows how. You guys, it is January. I've not.
You're not supposed to use this
posted it
anymore.
once. I haven't posted it once.
Illegal.
I love it. You playing tennis again, Matt?
Try to stay out in front. Come on.
The more I'm watching, I think you're trying to teach.
No. I'm trying to stay out in front. That's all.
The all-white shoes. I mean, enough. Sometimes
I don't make the dress code, Lauren.
Oh, God.
You want me to dress
How?
like Agassi with a lot of flashy colors?
Yes.
I mean, that's a little much for that drill.
Throw a
You're
little
gonna dress like Andre Agassi.
Serena gear on
Doing
you.
that
Look
drill?
that up.
Oh, embarrassing. Sometimes it's tennis, and sometimes it's on the TikTok, as he likes to call it.
Oh, my gosh.
One of my college roommates' daughters who's on the TikTok. I told her I'd help her out with some of my jiu-jitsu moves.
Very good.
Look at the skill.
You'd be a blast at a wedding. Voicemail time. What do we have today?
Oh, gosh.
Hey, good morning. This is Bill from down here in Portsmouth, Virginia. I know that you guys have been doing the look-alike pictures of players and celebrities, et cetera. You guys really need to look at Anthony Recker and Jim Carrey. I've never seen a picture of these two beside each other, but knowing each other, they just look like twins.
Good one.
Thanks a lot. Enjoy your show, man. Keep it up. Have a good day. Bye.
That's a good one.
No.
What do you know? I think that's good. Look at Recker. Looks like he's ready to go into Fire Marshal Bill right now.
H.
The Mask.
Weigh in on this.
Come on, guys. Really?
What's Jim Carrey's best movie?
The Mask. Ace Ventura was great,
Liar,
too.
Liar's pretty good, too. There's a few of them.
So many good ones. Here's how you
Yeah, Liar was great.
Let
Not
us
the
know.
Truman Show.
Hashtag